Hello and welcome once again to my YouTube channel DP101. So this is part 4 of our Raspberry Pi obstacle avoidance robot video, and if you see my previous 3 videos, we have configured Raspberry Pi, we have made it up and running, and we have been able to blink some LEDs, and in the previous video we were able to move our motors in forward and reverse direction. So now we're going to continue. This is our Raspberry Pi screen, what you see on the screen here. So this is our Raspberry Pi screen here, and what you see is the forward and reverse functions of Raspberry Pi. Now if you're going to make an automated robot without a remote control, so it is going to be using this forward, reverse, left and right functions quite very often, because then it's going to decide the way on its own and then it's going to go ahead and do it. Now what we have here is a few lines of code, which is like 4 lines, which enables not 4 lines exactly, it is 7 lines of code, which enables it to go forward, wait for 3 seconds, and then same for reverse as well. But we cannot go ahead and keep on repeating these lines, because if we go ahead and do that, our total entire code is will become very big. So what we do instead is we will just go ahead and define something called as functions. So if you know a little bit of programming language already, so function is a smaller piece of code in a bigger program which can be reused time and again. So we're going to rename our small piece of code into a particular name, or put it in that way. So we will give it a label, and then whenever we want, we will call that label. We will summon that label to run that specific code. So we're going to make one function for forward, one function for reverse, or we can call it method. Some people call it function. There are different names for it. So we will call it one function for forward, one function for reverse, one function for left, and one function for right. So to go ahead and make the function, it is very easy. So what we need to do is we need to say define, let's say forward, so you have to make sure to give proper spacing in Python, because Python is very sensitive to indentations and spacing. That will actually allow it to define under which parent instruction the child instruction is going to be. So this whole code is going to be under forward. So this is FWD, means forward, is going to be the label for our forward function. I'll just do here. Okay, so this is forward is going to be our label. Similarly, we will just go ahead and remove this, and we will define it for reverse. Okay. So this is our function for reverse. Now what we have to do is we just have to go ahead and call this function whenever we want. So we just have to call this function. All we have to do is just type the name forward. So this is basically calling the function, and we say time dot sleep. After we summon call forward, we summon reverse. That's it. So this, now if we have to do the forward function again and again, all you have to do is just write this one word and it will call the entire 7 lines of code. Now this could be either 7 lines or 700 lines, that does not matter. So whatever is under this function will be called when you put up the label for that, or when you call that specific function. So now let's go ahead and run our program and see how our motor runs. Forward, wait for 2 seconds, and reverse. So instead of doing forward and reverse, I can simply just call forward twice. So what it will do is it will run it forward. So I don't have to write the entire code, I just have to write this one word. So it will go ahead and call this function. Now the question here is, for how long does this have to run for forward, or for how long does this have to run in reverse? Because now we have defined 3 seconds here in both of them, but I don't want to run it for 3 seconds, because 3 seconds is a pretty long time. By the time your robot is going to travel some distance, and it will go ahead and hit some object which will defy the entire purpose of calling the code, right? So what we'll do is we will just go ahead and call it for maybe 0.5 seconds or something like that. That just half a second should be fine. So to do that, I have to pass a value to our forward function. So what we're going to do is we'll just define a variable and we will call it as random variable. Current value is 0, and when we have to call it, we have to call it, let's say 0.5. So which will be catched, which random will catch it here, and then it will execute here. Yeah. Here. Now we'll see how it works. 5.5, and it says missing parameter. Oh, I'm sorry. So I didn't give it the value. 0.5. Again, we'll do it. Okay. So it just ran it twice. Now I can do that for reverse. .5 seconds or 0.5 seconds and 0.5 seconds. So now what it will do is it will run the motor for 0.5 seconds in forward, 0.5 seconds in reverse, and then we can similarly write a program for left and right. So what I'll do is define left, and I will give it the value, and for left I need to have the right wheel spinning forward and the left wheel spinning reverse. So let's just go ahead and do that. So I'll just go ahead and copy this code. So what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and call the left function here, left, and I'll run it for 3 seconds. We have to change it, and false. We have to make this true and this true, and 37, 36, and 37. So this is going forward and this is going reverse, which is exactly what we want to make it turn left. And we will have to do opposite for right. So we will make it right, right, and We'll make this true. We'll make this false, false, and true. Okay, so let's call right. So this should go reverse and that should go forward. Okay, so this is pretty much it, and we have now a function for moving for forward, for reverse, for left, and for right. Now what we're doing here is we have created some functions which is our forward function, reverse function, left function, and right function. What this does is, why we have created functions, so that we can call this entire line of code just by using one simple word. So this will help us to call, and this number identifies for how long our code is going to run. So now whatever number I pass here, this is going to be caught up in this variable which is called RND, or random, and that is the time for which it's going to run it here. Now we can either make it here, so whatever value we want to assign, we can just go ahead and assign it. Now this is our program what we will run for. Let's first run for forward. So I'll just say my random is equal to 3 seconds, and I'll say random forward, reverse, left, and right. So what this does is, this will just go ahead and run my program for 3 seconds each, but if you see, there is no time for it to wait or to stop. So what we'll do is time dot sleep is 0.5 seconds. We will give this break after every program, and we will rename this as, let's say, robot. Okay. All right, so let's just go ahead and run this program. Forward, reverse, this has to go forward for left, and this has to go reverse for right. So this program is running perfectly fine. Now what we need to do is, we need to take an input from our ultrasonic sensor, which we are going to place in front of our vehicle. One is going to be on the right and one is going to be on the left. So we will just go ahead and place our ultrasonic sensors on our motor, so that it will go ahead and judge the distance based on that ultrasonic sensor, and it will take the decision based on that. So that's all for this video. If you have liked this video, please click on the like button and share this video for sharing further knowledge, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that others can also benefit. So please stay tuned for more videos. I'm going to post more videos to continue this series. Till then, goodbye and take care.